That down. Let's move on to this, shall we? You know, John Malkovich is about to make his entrance into the MCU in Fantastic Four. Of course, he makes a startling yet brief appearance in the trailer that we already got for Fantastic Four with the full beard and all that kind of stuff. And we've speculated ad nauseum about who he might be playing. And there's various theories out there about who he might be. Now, many of you might remember that he was poised to enter the comic book movie world in what was going to be Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 4.
Right. Yeah.
Where he was lined up to play Vulture. And remember, that movie was like weeks away from filming when they ultimately pulled the plug on it and all that kind of stuff. But in the meantime, we've now found out that John Malkovich had been offered roles in MCU movies multiple times, and he's always turned them down for the same reason, and then ultimately accepted one for a very specific reason. This comes to us from Variety, quoting John Malkovich in an interview where he said this: "The reason I didn't do them because he was offered multiple MCU movies. The reason I didn't do them had nothing to do with any artistic considerations whatsoever," Malkovich said. "I didn't like the deals they made at all. These films are quite grueling to make. If you're going to hang from a crane in front of a green screen for 6 months, pay me. You don't want to pay me? It's cool, but then I don't want to do it because I'd rather be on stage or be directing a play or be doing something else." What Malkovich was surprised to discover was that filming the Fantastic Four was, quote unquote, not that dissimilar to doing theater, because you imagine a bunch of stuff that isn't there and do your little play. He told GQ that he took a role in the movie primarily in Fantastic Four because he wanted to work with director Matt Shaman again after 2014's Cut Bank. So, first of all, I think there's a number of fascinating things in here. And by the way, Jonathan, if you can look up, how old is John Malkovich?
Okay.
Because at minimum, he's in his 70s, right?
Yeah, but I mean, he was in Spielberg's Empire of the Sun.
71.
He's 71 now. By the way, he was great in Red. I love him in everything, but he was so good.
Cyrus the Virus. Con Air.
Con Air.
Yeah.
So, first of all, the fact that Marvel has gone to him multiple times and tried to get him in different projects. Clearly, Kevin Feige must be a big fan. I mean, who isn't a big fan of John Malkovich? So they've tried to get him, and he's kept saying it's all just been based on money. It's never been that I don't like the project or I don't like what you do. It's that, listen, dude, I'm in my 70s, or at the time his late 60s. You want to swing me from cranes and you want me to dress up in white ball blue suits and you want me to do, okay, but you're going to have to pay me a premium. And if you don't want to pay me that much, no problem. I got other things to do. And clearly they were able to find the right balance of a character that he can do and pay him the right amount of money. Look, all I know is that I still have no idea what his role in this movie is going to be. We obviously speculated about what the role could be, but I'm just happy he's there because, to quote Robert Meyer Burnett, by putting John Malkovich in, he classes the joint up and it brings more credibility to it. So I thought it was a really interesting interview. Rob, what did you take away from this?
Well, I love the fact that he has no F's to give. So he's just telling the truth. And, you know, I love that story that Matt Damon tells. I think it's about doing the movie Rounders, the poker movie that he did with Ed Norton.
He hates he can barely stand watching that because of his accent. He hated his accent.
Yeah, he talks about Malkovich going,
"Don't splash the pot."
Yeah, but I've loved Malkovich since like movies like Roland Joffe's The Killing Fields in the mid 80s. I love Malkovich. He has a new movie coming out. I think it's called Opus, where he plays like a rock and roll cult leader and these people go to his encampment to see, I don't know what it's called, but it looks great. I think it's called Opus. I've loved everything. I love John Malkovich.
What was the movie he did?
It is called Opus.
It is called Opus. Can't wait. Look at the trailer for Opus.
What was the movie he did? This is an older one where he played an assassin and Clint Eastwood was like,
oh yeah,
in the Line of Fire.
In the Line of Fire. Thank you.
Yeah.
Where
That
he like
movie, Wolfgang Peterson
manufactured
directed
the gun that
he
couldn't be
he
picked up by.
manufactures it.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's so great, and they have those long phone conversations. Oh, Frank,
so good.
what was it like being on his detail?
that was like one of
That was a really
the
good movie.
later of Clint Eastwood's like cop films that I really love.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, powerhouse direction from Wolfgang Peterson. That studios don't make those movies anymore. It'd be a 10-episode miniseries or limited series now.
Chris, you read the comments John Malkovich made. I mean, what part stood out to you the most? The fact that he had been offered so many MCU roles, why he didn't take them, why he did take this one. I don't know. What did you take away from it?
The honesty stood out to me of, oh, yeah, I appreciate that. Of just, yeah, you got to pay me. Back up that Brinks truck. Come on, let's go. But I do love that he goes on to say how this does have an artistic merit to it. And it does feel akin to doing a play. You know, Ian McKellen famously had a really difficult time on The Hobbit because of how it became all tennis balls and blue screens and everything. It's really difficult to operate and do that kind of theater of the mind when you're working. It's something that a lot of voice actors really struggle with too, of, well, I'm just in front of a microphone. Now I have to act like I'm in this whole space and I'm talking to somebody and having proximity with them. Imagining all these fantastical elements and all of these wild powers and everything, that's really, really difficult to do and still stay grounded in your own reality. So I'm glad that he gave this a little bit of praise too on being, hey, this is still artsy and hard.
I do like also that he said he wanted to work with Matt Shakman again.
Yes.
You know, and Matt Shakman directed WandaVision, which is all of our favorite Marvel TV show properties.
Yeah, made a great choice to do this movie.
That's one of the reasons I'm really excited for the movie as well. I think it's going to be good because Shakman's a great director, and the fact that an actor wasn't talking about, oh, I want to be in a Marvel movie. The actor wants to work with the director. I love that. That's going to bring. I think it's going to bring something special to that movie.
All right. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Indeed. Okay, so you just realized your business needed to hire somebody like yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. When it comes to hiring, Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed Sponsored Jobs helps you stand out and hire fast. With Sponsored Jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for the right candidates so you can reach the best talent faster. And it works. Indeed's data shows that sponsored jobs get 45% more application than non-sponsored jobs. The thing I'm impressed most with Indeed is how fast it makes hiring. When I was looking to hire somebody for the John Campea Show, the process felt slow and overwhelming. I hate it. I wish I had used Indeed. And you want to know how fast Indeed is? In just the minute that I've been talking to you, 23 hires were made on Indeed worldwide. So don't wait. Speed up your hiring now with Indeed. And for listeners of this show, you get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/Campea. Just go to Indeed.com/Campea and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed here. That's Indeed.com/Campea. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need. Guys, question is for you. What did you think about this? John Malkovich revealing that he had been offered multiple MCU projects. I would love to know which ones he was offered, and particularly which roles he had been offered before. And now ultimately why he decided to do Fantastic Four. What were your main takeaways from it? What stood out to you guys the most? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.